Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my Week 15 NFL previews and analysis. This video is for the game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game will take place in Pittsburgh. And look, these two teams, division rivals, Cincinnati 9-4, leaders in the division, Pittsburgh 5-8, off of a deflating loss to say the least last week at home versus Miami. And first with Cincinnati. This is a team, I've been saying it for about 3 or 4 weeks now, that I think is the dark horse team in the AFC to make a run. And I think what is going to hinge on that run is the consistency of Andy Dalton and their running game. And you saw both of those really come to the forefront last week in a game where, from an offensive standpoint, they dominated the Colts every which way. Andy Dalton through the air, A.J. Green catching the ball, Bernard and Green Ellis running the ball. Can they continue that? And I think this is going to be a good barometer for them. Going on the road here against a divisional team that maybe history-wise they haven't been as good as, but certainly this year they're a lot better than the Steelers are. How does their offense play? How does their defense bounce back from last week? Andrew Luck had 4 touchdown passes, and he was not playing very well coming in. And I shouldn't say not playing very well. He hadn't been putting up those kind of numbers coming into that game. And Roethlisberger and company is going to throw the football. So how does this Cincinnati pass defense respond? Okay, I know Cincinnati's more susceptible to getting run up the middle on since Atkins went out. I don't think Pittsburgh's the team that's going to exploit that. But Pittsburgh can exploit you through the air, okay, especially if your secondary is vulnerable. I think that was a little bit of a blip last week versus the Colts. A lot of that game, the Colts were coming back and were forced to throw. I look for the improved effort from the Cincinnati defense as sort of the mainstay of that team. Can Le'Veon Bell gain any traction running the ball? He's been a good weapon, both running the ball and catching the ball out of the backfield. I think the lack of a really good offensive line is going to keep him from reaching maybe the plateau he can reach as a rusher this year at least. But look, this team begins and ends with Roethlisberger. The one matchup I worry about on defense for the Steelers is Ike Taylor matching up with A.J. Green. I think that's a matchup that seriously favors the Bengals. As a matter of fact, those young Bengals receivers, whether it's A.J. Green, Mohamed Sanu, Marvin Jones, the 2 tight ends, I think they have matchup advantages all over the field, okay, versus the Steelers secondary and linebacking core. Can Dick LeBeau find some way to confuse Andy Dalton, even though Dalton's played against this defense numerous times now and has sort of improved every time that he's played against the Steelers? I think those are the sort of subplots you're going to see play out here. I think Cincinnati has something to prove. I don't know what you're going to get out of Pittsburgh this week. They're a veteran, proud bunch that had a really deflating loss last week, and I think they kind of see the end of an era and the end of a very good stint as an organization here sort of coming to an end. I can't help but think maybe you don't get a vintage Steelers performance. The effort will be there, but performance in this one. And I just think Cincinnati is a really good team, and there's too many mismatches all over the field on both sides of the ball that favor Cincinnati. And because of that, I like Cincinnati, okay, minus 2.5 on the road in Pittsburgh. Guys, let me know what you think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. I preview and recap every game every week. I'm always talking the news of the day in the NFL. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.